Hey guys, Justin Rose with Bushido Mixed Martial Arts here at Coach's Corner. My shirt's messed up. There we go. Untrained people in fights with subs. So I get a lot of comments of, well, I would just step back and throw a knee and I would do this. Now, if you're an MMA fighter and you train, then you train your striking all the time with grappling and you train to go against grapplers. If you're a grown MMA fighter and you're talking about my kids and my bully beatdown videos, you're a fucking idiot and shame on you, because we're not talking about MMA fighters. You're a pathetic MMA fighter, period, if you're saying it, if you're talking that shit out your ass like that. Because no grown, when I look at kids' videos, I don't sit there and compare what I would do. I don't think, well, I'm a grown man. I got, 20 years of MMA experience, Muay Thai experience, 40 years of judo, 30 years of jiu-jitsu. I don't look at kids' fights and kids' tournaments and think what I would do. So don't be so fucking pathetic and stupid with your thoughts. If you're a grown man and you train MMA, you should know you're on a different level than kids. But what you need to understand about my kids' matches is those are not MMA matches. Those are not kids where they train MMA against MMA. That is thoroughbred jiu-jitsu. How many kids do you know at your gyms that train MMA? How many kids, if you have any knowledge and you train, how many kids that are at your gym doing jiu-jitsu actually train MMA and striking? It's very few. It's like 1 out of every 50 to 60 to 100 kids wants to train MMA, because MMA requires a lot of dedication. It requires a tough mental mindset, physical mindset, and it requires a certain nature of kid that doesn't mind getting punched in the face. So parents bring their kids to jiu-jitsu class to learn self-defense. The problem is most jiu-jitsu schools only do sport jiu-jitsu. They're not really learning self-defense, because if you're not being punched in the face, if someone is not trying to punch you in the face, it's not self-defense, period. I stand on that. You're doing a sport. Wrestling is a sport. Jiu-jitsu is a sport. Judo is a sport. Boxing is a sport. If it's a sport, you're not dealing. There's always some rules and regulations to what's going on. Wrestlers, everybody's saying wrestling is the number one thing for self-defense. I'm sorry, guys. I got so many thoughts trying to get out. They say boxing is the best for street because you stay on your feet, you don't get on the ground. Boxers have literally like zero chance against a skilled grappler. They're going on the ground, it's over. Boxers do not stand a chance against a grappler, not a wrestler, not a judo player. I love judo, but they never take that gi off. They never train no gi. They're very dependent upon them grips. So if you're not training MMA, you're not training no gi judo, I got to put judo in the questionable category. Jiu-jitsu, if you're not taking that gi off and you don't do no gi, again, I'm going to put you in that questionable category. But if you do any kind of no gi, boxer has a 0% chance. Moving wrestling up, it's probably the next one I go. Wrestling is the ultimate. This is hot off the heels of takedowns are stupid in a fight. Takedowns are dumb. They think wrestling is going to do the best. First of all, wrestling is a sport that has 0 striking and 0 submissions. Are they naturally going to get you down and control the shit out of you? Yeah, you're going to feel like you're getting raped by an octopus. They're not going to let you go. They're going to keep you down. But there's only so much cuddling and putting someone's back on the ground that you can do. There's no fighting in wrestling. And just like boxers who don't train fighting, if you don't take them gloves off and learn what it's like to hit someone in the head, boxers are breaking their hands left and right in a real fight because they don't have them big pom-poms on to protect their hands. Wrestlers are going to fuck themselves up. They do not train their takedowns for the street. They do not train someone trying to strike them. Striking is dangerous. So the one thing about jiu-jitsu, before you get off into them sport schools that all they ever do is do sport, is jiu-jitsu is meant to be a fighting art. It's a self-defense. Judo used to be, but then they came out where their self-defense is called kata, and that's completely useless. But if you train in any kind of realistic self-defense, you have to understand it is designed for fighting. Jiu-jitsu is probably the best fighting art in the world. But in my opinion, hands down, it is. I put some money on combat sambo, anything that trains it and cross-trains it. But you have to understand it's designed to get you down. Not only if I'm training self-defense, am I striking? Not MMA. My school, we train striking. Our jiu-jitsu, we do combat jiu-jitsu. So I'm striking you as well. You're not just going to be punching on me. Can a wrestler punch? Yes. But The old saying is, and even wrestlers can agree, that you're going to train how you fight and fight how you train. So if you don't throw punches when you train, there's a good chance you're not going to throw punches when you are fighting. So in jiu-jitsu, we train to strike and we train submissions. I'm not going to cuddle with you and hold you back on the ground. I'm going to break your arm. I'm going to turn you over and I'm going to choke you unconscious. And depending how big of an asshole you were is how much damage I'm going to do to you when you're unconscious. That whole tap out shit, that don't apply for a fight. If I choke you out, don't think I'm done with you. Don't think I'm going to get up and play fair sport. And if I have to fight you, you're going to wish I hadn't. So, and I train all my guys with the same mentality. If you force me to fight you, be prepared for that fight. You tapping out does not stop the fight. If you wanted to compete with me, you should have came in and competed with me on friendly terms. But when you started throwing punches and put my life in danger, just like if you were to get on top of me, knock me out, I don't count on you to stop punching. So if I choke you out, homeboys better not start hollering, oh, well, he's out, he's out. I don't give a shit. You're not out till I'm done with you. You're not out till I highly reciprocate whatever I feel like you were going to give to me. But I want people to understand, for all the people talking about that I would throw a knee, I would do this, I would step back and uppercut. You have never in your fucking life tried that against a skilled grappler. We train countless, endless hours on how to set up our strikes, how to set up our shots, and we get in. You'll never see us coming. You will, but it'll be about time you go, oh shit, and I've already got your legs and you're on the ground. You will miss your punches. Your uppercut will not land. There's trained guys that can't land those uppercuts and knees. There's trained guys that can, but I'm saying we know how to set up our shots. And when we shoot in, you don't have a fucking prayer in hell of stopping it. You're going to end up on the ground. Here's the other one. We will sub you so much faster than we sub someone else. When you're watching my videos, and even though it's a bully against a jiu-jitsu player, you have to understand this guy knows grappling. Even though he's striking, he knows grappling. So it'd be like taking a boxer against a grappler and telling the boxer to just grapple, right? But the boxer cannot forget how to box. He's going to still have that. If I put boxing gloves on the boxer and I said, all right, dude, you're going to be the bully, but no boxing, because you're not a trained boxer right now. You're just the average guy. That boxer's bully boxing is still 100 times better than a regular person, because he'll never be able to untrain what he knows. He's going to have good footwork, good handwork. He's going to keep his elbows in tight. He's never going to come out there like the average street fighter. He's just not, because he can't turn off his training. So when I got a kid playing the bully, he is still got grappling instilled in him. He's still avoiding submissions. He's doing weird things. It is comical how fast the average person would be on the ground and giving up a submission to a skilled jiu-jitsu player. Under 30 seconds, almost 90% of the time. So I would throw an uppercut. I would slam back. I would throw a knee right as they're coming. I would time my knee. And then I look over and this guy's entire page is cartoons and anime and memes and fucking Pokemon and shit. You guys, man, everybody on earth should stop into a jiu-jitsu gym for one class. It would change your entire reality. You would understand how vulnerable and how unprepared for reality and real fights you are. So I just want you to know that untrained people get subbed 50 times faster than trained people. Even in my bully beatdowns, where this kid is not supposed to do jiu-jitsu, he's supposed to just emulate, play the role of an untrained bully. When I say untrained in jiu-jitsu. He can punch. He can do anything he wants. If that bully knocks him down, gets on top of him and mounts him, he's allowed to do that. That's the whole point of the drill. But when my guy's doing everything, submissions, chokes, and that guy's defending the chokes and he's not trying to, because what does an untrained person do? They try to beat you up. They don't grapple. They don't sprawling. That's another one. These people think, I would sprawl. Do you not allow? In 90% of the videos that I see someone go, do you allow sprawls? My kid sprawled. You're just thinking UFC, collegiate, college wrestling sprawls. The average person doesn't do that. And if anybody's skilled at takedowns, your weak ass street sprawl ain't doing nothing. You're not sprawling on me, dude. You better have a college level of wrestling. I don't think there's a high school guy. Unfair for me to say me against a high school guy. I'm just talking about skill level. I don't think there's a high school guy that could sprawl on my takedowns. College level, it's a different animal, and I admit I'm going to need something else. But that's why I strike. That's why I do everything else. I don't care if the wrestler takes me down first and is on top. One thing wrestlers can't do is finish me. They cannot sub me. They're not going to outstrike me. Another thing a wrestler cannot do is fight off his back. Brother, I live on my back. I will fight off my back and win off my back. I've been doing it for 25 years. So you've got to have an elite level of wrestling with an elite level of striking or submission game to beat me. You're not just going to beat me as a college wrestler. You can out wrestle me, control me, wear me out, just stay on top. But I'm going to catch you with a submission eventually because you don't know submissions. You don't know what kind of trouble you're getting into. If you're a wrestler who trains, Shuto or catch wrestling, now we're talking a fair fight. Wrestling is your game. Jiu-jitsu is my game. You'll be in your element on top. I'll be in my element on bottom. And that's where it comes out who has the better game. That being said, I'm getting older in my age. I don't like fucking with little kids no more, meaning 20-something-year-olds. The guys got cardio for days. But I got a mat full of students. My son, I got people that can take on them youngsters. But just to understand, your mental reality is not the same as real reality. There is reality and there's delusion. And a lot of you guys thinking you would uppercut and throw knees and you would sprawl. You are living in a delusional world. I stop by a jiu-jitsu gym. Just go for a night. Say, hey, I'm just here. I want to try out a class. And don't grab another white belt who doesn't know shit. Grab any blue belt on the mat. Your ass is getting taken down 50 out of 50 times. You're getting subbed 51 out of 50 times. You're not going to, if you got the balls and you say, well, I think I could whoop these guys' asses. Can I put on gloves? You're going to run in two kinds of jiu-jitsu schools. You run the one that says, we don't do that here. You should leave. We're a jiu-jitsu. What the fuck? It says self-defense on your door. If you can't take somebody walking in your door asking to put on gloves and fight you, shut your fucking doors. Put sport on your door. But if you go into the right school and you request that, they'll go, sign a waiver, man. We got you. There should be no fear in that. There should be no hesitation at all. Sign the waiver, put the gloves on and say, hey, let's be clear. I want to try to knock this guy out. I want to see if he can stop me. There are videos all over the internet. Go on YouTube, get on TikTok, search. They're there. You can see what happened to other idiots that thought it was possible. But that's it tonight for this Coach's Corner, guys. Appreciate the watch. Hope you learned something. Take care.